It's Gypsy Man, and I want to do a quick video talking about, do you really need a red dot or optic on your firearms for your EDC? And I've been thinking a lot about this because I've been in situations, and recently was in a situation, a stress situation, where you bring your firearm up if you have to use it. In this case, it was just a stressful situation, and I brought it up. Guess what happened? Because I train with a dot, 50-50. I usually train with my iron sights first, and then I'll train with the dot. But I always have my dot on when I'm carrying my EDC, this is my EDC, which is the G45. I got the light on there, and I got the optic on there, which is the SCS. And I have my competition, G34, which has the a larger a larger optic on it, and it is the 507 comp. So I'm in a stressful situation. I'm coming out of the holster, and I bring my 45 up expecting to see a dot, and we're going to go into why this happened, and what I would suggest for people to do. Don't rely on this dot in a stressful situation to be there. When I brought the gun up and presented it, there was no dot. So what would I do as a person that trains with a dot? I'm looking for my dot. You don't have time to look for your dot. The dot's not going to be there every single time you present this firearm. And that's why, as a purist, I like iron sights better. And I'm in the midst of getting really good with my dot through competition and other activities. And I can find my sights every time I present my gun. But in this case, I didn't have a dot. So you're going to find yourself as people who train with dots and shoot with dots all the time exclusively, and they don't use their irons or even a co-witness. You're going to be up shit's creek, and either you're going to get injured or worse, because you're looking for a dot and you don't have time for them to tell them to hold up. I need to find my dot, and then we can start and continue again. I didn't have a dot, and if I would have took a shot, I would have missed. So that's how I feel about the dot on your EDCs. I don't think it's necessary, to be honest with you. I got the MOS and I got a dot, and I think it would be more for a distance shot in a threatening situation like a mass shooting, or, unfortunately I gotta say that, or mall shooting, movie shooting, things like that. And you may have time to find your dot and get your dot and do a 40-yard shot to stop the threat. But other than that, most of your encounters with your EDC will probably be within 10 yards. You don't have time to find your dot when you're in that situation. So what I suggest people to start doing, who do train with irons, who do train with optics, start learning how to point shoot. In competition, we do a lot of these things, and in real life situations in my line of work, I've been in numerous situations where things had to happen, and the irons were right there. I don't have a dot on some of my other tools. It's just the irons, and they're always there. You ain't looking for anything. Now, I say all that to say that if you can see it, look at the size difference in the dots. It's a lot smaller than my competition dot. So if you are going to stick with being a dot shooter, you're going to have to put a large dot on your EDC. You can't walk around with something like a CSC by Hollow Sun and expect the dot to be there. In competition, when I present my competition gun, the dot's always there. And that's because it has a big window, so the dot is there. It's somewhere in there that I can get it on target very quickly. So what I would suggest, if you're going to have to carry a dot, because everything's going to go, it's moving to the dot. Everybody's going dot. I say train with your irons probably more than your dot. And put the large dots on your EDCs, and you won't have these issues. I can't guarantee it, but I say that with assurance, you won't have the issue of not having a dot somewhere on your target when you present your firearm, when you need to use it. But as far as I'm concerned today, this dot right here, you know, I love the setup. It looks good. It's only useful for range activity, to be honest with you. I will not look at my sights or my optic in a life-threatening situation. I could tell you that. I can 100% guarantee you that, because that in my line of work and in these situations, and if you ask most officers who've been in shootings, they didn't look at their sights. So point shooting is very important skill to learn. Definitely get good in it. If you can go past 10 yards and point shoot and hit your target, you're doing great. You know, definitely within 3, 5, 7, and 10, you should be able to hit your target, because you are responsible for every round that comes out of your gun. And probably should put the big optic on your EDCs, and you will take the percentage of not seeing a dot. It will be a lot higher. It will be a lot lower. So, Gypsy Man, that's all I wanted to say. Point shoot, learn that skill. It's valuable. Look where you want the bullet to go. With the irons, with the optic, you're not going to use either one in a stressful situation. I can guarantee you that. So, Gypsy Man, I'm out.